Welcome to the PokeMitchellPodcast. Welcome to the PokeMitchellPodcast. Hey, we got a good one today, man. A lot of stuff been on my brain, man, lately, man. You should always look for some things in life, man, that spark your understanding. Have we ever really tried to get out the hood? The times that we living in today, you got to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what's going on. Crime is down, believe it or not. Murders are down, believe it or not. We on the pace of setting new records in that category, the lowest in years. There still is things going on, crime going on, murders going on, but it's not like how it used to be. So it has me to ask this question. Are we really trying to get out the hood? Are we really trying to make our lives better? That's only one that we can answer together. Yeah, there's good people from everywhere. I'm gonna say there's good men from everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm mainly speaking on, the men and women, out of LA, Compton, Watts, Long Beach, where I, for the most part, the places that I grew up around. It seems like that, and I'm talking to us blacks, that we want to continue to glorify things that just don't matter. We have to stop having kids. And, therefore that we should always be wanting to grow into that next level of being a parent, being there for your kids. And, I had to learn the hard way. I had to, it took me to go to prison to get an understanding of who I really was and what I need to do for myself. We've been taught wrong in every aspect of the game. I'm trying to I'm watching a lot of different shows on YouTube, on social media. I try to stay, watching the things that that strengthen my thought pattern. I've talked about watching Under the Groove, and from watching Under the Groove, I've slid to Coach Zoe, and to see what that brother be talking about. And yes, we do need to bounce up off of each other, because everybody's life is different. Everybody's road is different. You got some people that like me. I was raised in my neighborhood. As a kid, I never got put on. I grew into it. One of my best friends, Lil Boo, rest in peace, got killed. And, he was probably like either 14, maybe 15 when he got killed. And at the time, we were beefing with one of the biggest gangs in LA. So, based on how I grew up and loving my area, loving the people that I grew up around, it only made sense for me to take it to the next level. And that began a life that separated me from life itself. I ended up spending half of my life, or giving half of my life, to jail. Because when you're gangbanging, that's what you do. You're telling everybody, I'm either gonna go to jail or I'm gonna get killed. I'm trying to go to jail. Now, it's baffling to me because we have enough evidence, to enough time has passed by for brothers to see the real in things, I ended up subscribing to Coach Zoe. I would say that you brothers watch Coach Zoe, man. The brother is real about what he talks about. But it was a question that he had asked about why do so many ex-felons go to YouTube. I remember when I on my way to the penitentiary the first time. I was told by some good people, man. Some from LA, some from Watts, some from Compton. To never, don't get under no paperwork. And this is after, a lot of people came to the conclusion that it wasn't a good thing overall. Me, I was like, I'm only gonna claim one thing and one thing only. I was also taught if somebody come at me like that, to do my thing. So I was always in the cut waiting to do my thing, if ever approached. But as I got to doing time and being around some real dudes and understanding things, based on what was going on before I even got there, I was able to learn how to respect it. Some of the dudes I heard that I heard some of the stories from, some of them were under paperwork. But they knew that I was a soldier. Always ready to step up to the plate for the right reasons, whatever those right reasons were. And so I would get told things in the most realest way, which would give me the understanding for those brothers that did get under the paperwork. The way that we learn has to be reconstructed. the way that we listen, the things that we talk about has to be different. Most of the people that's on the streets not even gonna make it. I was fortunate to make it to the penitentiary. And you might not catch that one. I was fortunate to make it to the penitentiary. I spent half of my life doing time. And it might have saved my life because I was a frontliner. Because I cared about my community that much. But do we really want to get out the hood? Do we really want better for ourselves? I spoke on earlier that crime has went down. It's steadily going down. Yeah, the news gonna try to make it seem like it's more going on than it is. But murders are going down. That's the most important thing. And it's said to even get lower as the years go. We're sitting here and we're watching a president, a white man, who has the ideology of a slave owner. We all know what those slave owners were about. They want full control. They want full control. They had a law back in, I have to research it to make sure, back in the 1800s, I think. It was called the Vacancy Act. It was around the time where they started to free slaves. And they, so the slaves were actually being freed. But if you've been a slave all your life, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know what to do. Think about it. So the whites, the slave owners, they didn't like that. Can you imagine that? They didn't like that the slaves were being free, were being set free to do what they want to do and how they wanted to do it. So you had these, they came out with a law. See, this is why you have to pay attention to the laws. This is why I speak up on Roland Martin a lot. That, our people, blacks I'm talking about, we need to pay attention. We need to watch that show. Regardless if you like Roland Martin or not. It's a lot of game that's being told on his show that would help blacks further along the way, right? And the Vacancy Act was a law that these white slave owners put on the books, that if once a slave is freed, that if they were homeless, if they were prostituting, if they were drunks in the streets, there's so many things that this is kind of like the same stuff that's going on now. Not having enough knowledge to know what to do and how to live, how to get by. So they knew by them putting that Vacancy Act law together that they would be able to arrest those same slaves that they freed. You couldn't even be homeless. Being homeless was a crime. So that Vagrancy Act, what it did is that it went and got the homeless, went and got the drunks, the people that were on drugs, the drunks. All these crimes that you have no choice but to do because you don't have nothing. And that Vagrancy Act law would actually be a law to go and recommit them back to being a slave. Snatch them up, arrest them, and put them back on the farms for at least 2 or 3 years. In some instance, they would brand them. They would brand them like branding a cow. But we have to be better. I'm talking to myself as well. We have to be better. We have to start listening to each other. Who gonna tell you the truth? More so than your own people. Yeah, I have white friends. I have Mexican friends. But I call them my friend because they understand my plight. It's only when it's affecting my people and we don't understand. Shout out, man, to all the people that see change. God is good. Just gotta give him a chance to be good to you. Peace, and always to my West LA family. I love y'all. Stand up for yourselves. Got the right to do that. Peace. And remember, self-motivation is the best motivation. Don't ever forget it. Sitting here and watching the way that our Latino family is being done, it's not a good thing to watch. It's not. And I'm quite sure that if you've been living long enough, that you probably got family members that are Latino now. And I do believe that the blacks are always next, man. We've been next the whole time. They can't get nothing done without making us next. And that's from all different angles. Economy. We next with being fucked in the economy. We next with being fucked in housing. We next in getting effed with jobs. Man, we're always getting things taken away from us. So we don't have to worry about being next, because things are happening to us as we speak. I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to put myself out there. to be an example. Because I'm a different man these days. I think different. I want different. I need different. It kills me to hear people talk about my community. And, maybe 50% of what they say has some truth to it. But if you ain't from over there, you don't know the whole thing. Just because you know a couple of people, that don't mean you know all the inside stuff that's going on. But, I basically wanted to, as an ex-felon, I wanted to come on YouTube to open some eyes, unclog the ears. Yeah, I never thought that I would be doing this. But, understanding the type of man that I am, that I've always been, it's not a puzzle to me. It's only a puzzle to them that don't understand. And this is why I do what I do. I'm trying to do it more. I'm trying to be heard more. While living my life. I still have a life to live. And the battle is for the people that's not where you at. They don't even want to be where you at. They still care more about low riding. They still care more about the sack. Any and everything that is destroying us. In order to know your fight, you have to understand the journey. Some things just ain't my fight. But I will always be a piece to the